During the party, when she was dancing with another guy, she looked at me and said, "I also have the right to have my options." I said nothing, just picked up my car keys and left without looking back, then blocked her number. At 3 a.m., she kept banging on my door. I didn't open it. Then, while crying, she said something that left me shocked. "I'm a 29-year-old software consultant based in Austin, Texas. I work remotely for a fintech startup, pulling in around $140,000 a year. Not bad, but not exactly living like a king either. I've always been the type to keep my head down, focus on work, save money, and avoid unnecessary drama. My friends call me boring. I call it being smart. I drive a decent car, live in a nice apartment, and I've got about $80,000 saved up. I'm not flashy. I don't need to be." Her name was Lauren. We met at a mutual friend's barbecue about 8 months ago. She was 26, worked in marketing for some wellness brand, and had this energy that just pulled people in. Confident. Beautiful. The kind of woman who walks into a room and everyone notices. Long dark hair, always dressed like she was going somewhere important even when she wasn't. I'm not the type to chase, but she made it easy. She approached me first, asked about my work, laughed at my terrible jokes, and by the end of the night, we exchanged numbers. The first few months were good. Really good. We'd meet up twice a week, grab dinner, catch a movie, sometimes just drive around listening to music and talking about nothing and everything. She talked a lot about her dreams, traveling the world, starting her own business someday, living a life full of experiences. I liked that about her. She had ambition. She wasn't content with just existing. But there was always this undercurrent, this vibe that she needed constant validation. Instagram posts every other day, checking how many likes she got, talking about people she knew who were doing better than her. I ignored it. I figured everyone has their quirks. Nobody's perfect. Then things started shifting around the 4-month mark. She'd mention other guys casually. "This guy at work bought me coffee today." My ex texted me, but I didn't reply. At first, I thought she was just being transparent. Open communication, right? Then it felt like she was testing me, seeing how I'd react. I didn't bite. I'm not the jealous type, and I wasn't about to play games. I'd learned that lesson before with other relationships. But the comments got more frequent. She started comparing me to other people. Jake just bought his girlfriend a weekend trip to Napa. Connor's already talking about engagement rings with his girl. Brandon got promoted and bought a new BMW. I'd shrug it off, but inside, I was getting tired. I make good money, but I'm not going to blow it trying to impress someone who's always looking at the next best thing. I'm saving for a house, for a future, not to fund someone else's Instagram lifestyle. One night in early October, we had dinner at this Italian place she loved. She spent 20 minutes taking photos of her pasta before eating it. Then she looked at me and said, "You know, sometimes I wonder if we're moving too slow." "What do you mean?" I asked. "Like, we've been together for 6 months, and we're still just dating. Nothing's really changed. What do you want to change?" She shrugged. "I don't know. Just feels like we're stuck." I didn't know what to say to that. I thought things were fine. Good, even. But apparently, she didn't. Update 1. 2 weeks ago, Lauren invited me to her coworker's birthday party. Some rooftop bar downtown. I wasn't thrilled. I hate crowded places, loud music, drunk people stumbling around. But I agreed because she'd been asking for days. "It'll be fun," she said. "You need to get out more. You can't just work and stay home all the time." I showed up around 8 p.m. on Saturday. The place was packed. Music blasting, people dancing, the whole scene. String lights hung across the ceiling, bartenders mixing cocktails, groups of people laughing too loud. Lauren was already there with her coworkers. She introduced me to a few of them, Sarah, who works in graphic design, and Tim, some account manager. They seemed nice enough, but I could tell Lauren was distracted. Her eyes kept drifting across the room. About an hour in, she went to get a drink. I stayed near the railing, scrolling through my phone, watching the city lights. When I looked up, she was talking to some guy near the bar. Tall, well-dressed, the kind of guy who looks like he stepped out of a cologne ad. Dark hair slicked back, designer watch, confident posture. They were laughing. Too much. I didn't think much of it at first. She's friendly. That's just her personality. She talks to everyone. But then she started dancing with him. Right there in the middle of the floor. His hands on her waist. Her arms around his neck. I watched for a minute, trying to decide if I was overreacting. Maybe they were just friends. Maybe I was being paranoid. She caught my eye, and I thought she'd come back. Instead, she smiled. No, smirked, and kept dancing. Like she wanted me to see. I walked over. Calm. Not aggressive. I tapped her shoulder. Hey, can we talk for a second? She turned, still smiling. What's up? You good? You've been over here for a while. She rolled her eyes. Oh my God, relax. I'm just dancing. The guy next to her looked uncomfortable, like he wanted to disappear. He mumbled something about getting another drink and walked off. I'm not trying to start anything, I said. Just checking in. She laughed. Actually laughed. You know what? I also have the right to have my options. I stared at her. The music was loud, but I heard her perfectly. People around us were still dancing, oblivious. What did you just say? You heard me. I'm allowed to have options. You don't own me. The guy she'd been dancing with had disappeared into the crowd. A few people nearby turned to look. I felt my chest tighten, my jaw clench, but I kept my face blank. I wasn't about to make a scene. I wasn't about to give her the satisfaction. I nodded slowly. All right. Cool. I turned, walked straight to the exit, grabbed my car keys from the valet, and drove home. The whole way back, my phone kept buzzing. Text after text. I glanced at the screen at a red light. Wait. Come back. I didn't mean it like that. You're overreacting. I didn't read the rest. When I got home, I blocked her number, blocked her on Instagram, Snapchat, everything. Done. Update 2. I thought that was the end of it. I really did. I figured she'd move on, maybe feel bad for a day or two, then forget about me and move on to the next guy. She had options, right? She said it herself. But at 3:17 a.m., I woke up to pounding on my door. Loud. Aggressive. Like someone was trying to break it down. My apartment's on the second floor of a quiet complex, and whoever was out there was making enough noise to wake the entire building. I grabbed my phone, checked the peephole. It was Lauren. Her makeup was smudged, mascara running down her face, eyes red and swollen, hair a complete mess. She was crying. Hard. Open the door, she yelled. Please. I need to talk to you. I stepped back. No way. I wasn't about to let her in and start some dramatic conversation at 3 a.m. after what she pulled. Not a chance. I know you're in there. Please. Just let me explain. I sat on my couch, arms crossed, waiting for her to leave. She kept banging, kept yelling my name over and over. Please. I'm sorry. Just open the door. I heard a door open down the hall, one of my neighbors, and then close again quickly. Nobody wanted to get involved in whatever this was. After about 10 minutes, the banging stopped. I thought she'd finally left. Then I heard her voice, quieter now, broken. I'm pregnant. I froze. I'm pregnant, and it's yours. My heart started racing. I walked back to the door, pressed my ear against it. I could hear her sobbing on the other side. Lauren, go home. We're not doing this right now. I'm serious, she sobbed. I took a test yesterday. I didn't know how to tell you. That's why I was acting weird at the party. I was scared. I didn't know what to do. I didn't open the door. I didn't believe her. Not fully. This felt like manipulation. Like a desperate attempt to get me to respond. But I couldn't ignore it either. What if she was telling the truth? If that's true, we'll talk about it tomorrow. Go home. Get some sleep. Please, just open the door. I don't want to be alone right now. Lauren, I'm not opening the door. Go home. We'll talk when you're sober and it's not the middle of the night. Silence. Then I heard footsteps. She was leaving. I heard her car start a few minutes later and drive away. I sat back down, staring at the wall. Pregnant. She said she was pregnant. My mind was spinning. Was she lying? Was this some desperate manipulation tactic to get me back? Or was she telling the truth? And if she was, what the hell was I supposed to do? I didn't sleep the rest of the night. Just sat there, thinking, running through every scenario. Update 3. The next morning, around 9 a.m., I unblocked her number. She'd sent about 15 texts between 3:30 and 7 a.m. Most of them apologizing, a few saying she needed to see me, one asking if I got the pregnancy test photo she'd sent before I blocked her. I hadn't seen any photo. I scrolled back through old messages. Nothing. Either she was lying, or she sent it after I'd already blocked her and it never went through. I texted back, we need to talk. Coffee. Noon. Public place. She replied within seconds. Thank you. I'll be there. I'm so sorry. We met at a Starbucks near downtown. Neutral ground. Plenty of people around. She looked exhausted when she walked in. No makeup, gray sweatpants, oversized hoodie, hair in a messy bun, dark circles under her eyes. She sat down across from me, hands wrapped around a cup of tea, not looking at me. I'm sorry, she started, voice shaking. I'm so sorry about the party. I was drunk and stupid and I said things I didn't mean. I was scared and I didn't know how to handle it, and... Are you actually pregnant? She nodded, pulled out her phone with trembling hands. Show me a photo of a pregnancy test. 2 pink lines. Clear as day. I stared at it. My stomach dropped. Everything felt surreal. When did you take this? 2 days ago. Friday morning. And you didn't think to tell me before the party? I was scared. I didn't know how you'd react. I thought maybe if I acted normal, I could figure out how to tell you. But then I started drinking, and everything just fell apart. By dancing with another guy and telling me you have options? Her face crumpled. Tears started streaming down. I know it was horrible. I panicked. I thought if I pushed you away, it would hurt less if you left me anyway. I thought you'd leave once you found out. I leaned back, rubbing my face. None of this made sense. My whole life felt like it was imploding. I need you to take another test. In front of me. Right now. She looked hurt, but nodded. Okay. We can go to my place right now. I have another one. We drove separately to her apartment. The whole drive, my hands were shaking on the wheel. I didn't know what I wanted the result to be. Part of me hoped she was lying. Part of me knew that would make everything worse. She took another test. I waited outside the bathroom door, listening to her moving around inside. 3 minutes felt like 3 hours. Finally, she came out holding the stick. 2 pink lines. I sat down on her couch, head in my hands. This was real. This was actually happening. What do you want to do? I asked, barely able to get the words out. She sat next to me, leaving space between us. I don't know. I haven't decided anything yet. But I wanted you to know. You deserve to know. This affects both of us. If you're keeping it, I'll be there. I'm not going to abandon a kid. But we're not getting back together. That part's done. We can co-parent, but that's it. She nodded, tears streaming down her face. I understand. I don't expect you to forgive me. I just need you to know I'm sorry. We sat in silence for a while. The air felt heavy. Then she shifted, looked down at her hands, and said something that made my blood run cold. The guy at the party. I slept with him. 3 weeks ago. I turned to her slowly, feeling like I'd been punched in the chest. What? I was drunk. We went back to his place after a different work thing. It was a mistake. I didn't think it meant anything. I regretted it immediately. So you don't even know if it's mine. She started sobbing. Full-on sobbing. I think it is. The timing lines up better with us. But I don't know for sure. I don't know. I stood up, grabbed my keys, walked to the door. I couldn't be there anymore. I couldn't look at her. Wait, please. Get a paternity test. When it's born. Don't contact me until then. I left. Drove home in complete silence. No music. No thoughts. Just numb. Final update. 2 months went by. Lauren texted me once a week, updating me on doctor's appointments, how she was feeling, what she was eating, sending ultrasound pictures. I responded with 1 or 2 words. Okay. Good. Thanks for the update. I wasn't going to be cold, but I wasn't going to pretend everything was fine either. I wasn't going to pretend I wasn't dying inside every single day not knowing if this kid was mine. I told my parents. That was brutal. My mom cried. My dad just sat there, silent, then asked if I was sure it was mine. I told him I wasn't. He nodded. Didn't say anything else. I told my 2 closest friends, Kevin and Aaron. They were supportive but didn't really know what to say. What do you say to that? Then, about 3 weeks ago, Lauren called me. Said she needed to talk. In person. Her voice sounded different. Calmer. More resolved. We met at the same Starbucks. She looked different too. Healthier. A small bump visible now under her sweater. She looked like she'd been taking care of herself. I got a DNA test, she said, not wasting time. One of those early ones. Non-invasive. They can do it now with just blood work. I didn't say anything. Just waited. It's not yours. I felt a wave of relief so strong I almost laughed. But I didn't. I just nodded, exhaling for what felt like the first time in 2 months. It's his. The guy from the party. His name's Brandon. I told him last week. He's stepping up. We're figuring it out. He wants to be involved. Good, I said. I hope it works out for you. I really do. She reached across the table, touched my hand. I'm really sorry. For everything. You didn't deserve any of that. You were good to me, and I ruined it. I pulled my hand back gently. Yeah, I didn't. She looked like she wanted to say more, but didn't. She just nodded, stood up, and left. I sat there for a while, staring out the window at people walking by, couples holding hands, parents with kids, everyone just living their normal lives while mine had just been completely upended and then put back together in the span of 2 months. I haven't spoken to Lauren since that day. I heard through a mutual friend, the same one who introduced us, that she and Brandon are trying to make it work. They're moving in together, preparing for the baby. I deleted the friend on social media too. I didn't need updates. Didn't want them. As for me, I'm doing fine. Better than fine, actually. Back to my routine. Work, gym, the occasional night out with friends who actually respect me. I deleted all her photos from my phone. Unfollowed everyone connected to her. I even switched coffee shops. I started seeing a therapist. That helped. Talked through everything. Processed it. She told me I handled it better than most people would have. I'm not sure about that, but it made me feel a little better. Sometimes I think about what she said at the party. I also have the right to have my options. I guess she did. And I had the right to walk away. I had the right to protect myself. I had the right to not be someone's backup plan. No regrets. Edit 1. A few people asked if I would have stayed if the baby was mine. Honestly, I don't know. Probably. But not with her. I would have co-parented. Done the right thing. Been there for every appointment, every milestone. But I wouldn't have gone back to that relationship. Some things you can't come back from. Edit 2. Someone DM'd me saying I handled it wrong by not opening the door that night. Maybe. But I wasn't about to let someone manipulate me at 3 a.m. after what she pulled. I drew a line, and I stuck to it. I'm allowed to have boundaries. Edit 3. For those wondering, yes, I'm dating again. Nothing serious yet. Taking it slow. Being more careful about red flags. If someone tells you who they are, believe them the first time.